Behold, the most important of all kitchen utensils. Hello and welcome to day number 109. Thank you for joining me. Today has been pretty good, actually. Today's been pretty decent. So, I went out to the shops today. We've had just like a nice little chilled out sort of day, just like lounging around in the house for the most part. Got Rowan his lunch. Me and Rowan actually got up quite late in the day. We got up around about 10 o'clock. Rowan didn't go to bed up until about 11 o'clock last night for whatever reason. So yeah, he's had a long sleep and then been awake for a little bit later today as well. But, you know, such is life. It happens. Yeah, so we got up a little bit later than usual, you know, just like wandered around and played with toys and did all sorts of things. It's a Saturday, so Sigurda's home as well, so she was in and around playing with toys and blocks and stuff too, which was quite nice. Had lunch. Now, Sigurda decided she was going to have some pita bread and some meat and veggies, and I chopped up a bunch of veggies for Rowan as well, and you know, just like random stuff. But I had these pita breads available, and I basically stood here in the kitchen just looking at the wall of cans and in the fridge and everything, going, what do I even want to eat? I don't know. I genuinely had no idea what I wanted to actually put together and consume. So I stood here for about maybe 15-20 minutes and just was drawing a complete and utter blank. I could not think of any recipe to throw together with the stuff that I had. I mean, we've got cookery books and all sorts of things, and I've got like starch solution somewhere in the house as well, but like I just couldn't think of anything. And then I finally sort of said, right, okay, look, it's pita, which is like Middle Eastern chickpeas. Chickpeas are fine, right? Let's do chickpeas and onions and throw in some of these peppers as well, and I don't know, like a bit of turmeric and some nutmeg, and oh, we've got this like pepper paste, like for thickening sauces and stuff. Like, yeah, let's throw some of that in, and this is what it came as. And it was really tasty, actually. It was fine. Like, it was, you know, it was a meal. It was probably a little bit more of a meal than I wanted, in all honesty. Like, I finished all of it because I was hungry, but then for about 20 minutes afterwards, I just felt like I'd eaten too much, you know? So I probably needed to cut down the portion sizes a bit, although it might very well have to do with the fact that I just chugged a giant tankard full of water after I'd already eaten all of the food to like satiation, you know? It's probably my fault there. But anyway, and that entire thing, that opened up this really interesting line of thought to me, which was, what do I even want to eat, and why is it so hard for me to come up with something? And I don't know, is the honest answer. I think it's just I've got more of an appreciation for the rules of what the McDougall program is meant to be now. Like, I've been following it for over 3 months now, and I have been losing weight by following it and, you know, like following the rules and stuff, but like there's been certain times where I've relaxed those rules and things haven't happened as quickly as I'd like. But now, after having done the Mary's Mini, I actually think I've got a little bit more of an understanding about what the rules are meant to be and the portion sizes and things like that, and how I'm meant to go about just my normal day-to-day life, eating McDougall style and like whole foods, plant-based, about 50% starch, and then the rest just green veg and boring stuff, you know, not super amazingly Moorish, flavorful sort of stuff, but just like enough where I can eat it comfortably and say, right, that's good. So, yeah, I don't know. I just couldn't figure out what I wanted. So when it came to going to the shop, I bought another bag of potatoes. So I'm probably just gonna eat potatoes. Like I've had like 2 days now where I've just been like off of the Mary's Minis rule, and sticking with like McDougall planning, and I'm finding it hard to really sort of like break back into what I was eating before the Mary's Mini, you know? Like it's actually kind of difficult, and I didn't expect that in any way, shape or form. So, I don't know, obviously it's had a very, very good impact on me. Yeah, I don't know. I am looking forward to Thursday next week though. I'm looking forward to starting it again, with David as well. David's gonna join in, so he's took my advice. I think he's gonna load up and eat as much fruit as he likes this weekend and just get it out the way with. Hopefully he'll be completely sick of fruit by the time that Thursday rolls around, but we'll see. But yeah, that should be good. Like, you know, like I'm up for sticking with it, doing another 10-day challenge with people. If you want to join in as well, by all means, just either join in or let me know that you're joining in, or I don't know, or post on the Mary's Minis Facebook group. Yeah, that's a way to do it. Of course, everyone there is very supportful. There's a lot of recipes and stuff like that, and myself and David are in there, I believe, and so's Jessica and Brian, or at least Jessica, anyway. Yeah, like, it's been fine. What did I have for dinner? I'll tell you what I did have for dinner. I had something I didn't cook myself. That's not happened for a while. So my dinner was this. This is what I had for dinner. This is a Thai-style green curry with coconut milk, and like it's just chickpeas basically. Like it is vegetarian. It's vegan essentially. But it does have oil and salt in it. Now, the reason it has those in it is because Saguta cooked it, and I just kind of said, oh, well, you've got rice, and you've got this, and maybe I'll have just a little bit. That's why it's in a much smaller bowl than what I usually eat, because it's literally meant to be Saguta's lunch for when she's back at work in the next couple of days. So yeah, you know. That's why it is what it is. But it was really good. It was really filling, and because I'd already had chickpeas earlier on in the day, like I ate that smaller bowl, and I've been fine. Unfortunately, my plans have been scuppered slightly. You see, now I'm gonna try and get this right, okay? Just so that you can see. So here we go. Right. So Saguta baked little cakes. You see? Yes. Oh yes, little mini cupcakes, little muffins. She also baked a banana bread loaf, which is on the counter here, which is what I was looking at. It looks pretty good, and apparently the muffins are a little bit too moist. She might have used a little bit too much banana when she was making them, because she makes like eggless cakes. Just because. I don't know why she still carries it on to this day, because when we first got together many years ago, she was staying with me. My flatmate at the time, Lewis, was allergic to egg. So she learned how to make like eggless cakes and all sorts of things, and I did too. And then when I moved out and moved in with Saguta, in like our first shared place, she just carried it on and has carried it on ever since. I know she's baked things that use eggs before, and you know, every now and again she does, but still just banana for whatever reason. But But yeah, like apparently those are a little bit too moist, and the banana cake, she's not sure about. She hasn't tried it yet. So, so what I was going to do, I was going to throw myself onto the sword, shall we say. I was going to throw myself onto the sacrificial fire, and I was going to eat some of the cake, just to sample it. Now, it isn't McDougall friendly in any way, shape or form. It's vegetarian because it's got sour cream in it, and you know, it's definitely not McDougall or even like relaxed McDougall, because there's oil and butter and about 3 different types of sugar and all sorts of things in there. But I was gonna have it along with some ice cream that I made. Now, I have never made ice cream before. And I suppose in this case I should just call it nice cream, because it's not actually ice cream. It's a recipe that Jessica sent me. Jessica from Crocs in the Kitchen. Oh, one of the two. I think it's that one. Now, I asked Jessica, because she's made a video on making banana ice cream and vanilla and stuff like that, whether she thought it would be possible if I added cherries into the mix, to just like the standard mix that she had, whether it would be possible to come up with something close to Black Forest Gatto, Schwarzwälder Kirschtorte, as we call it over here. And she absolutely destroyed the question by just sending me a recipe of someone who'd made it, where instead of using bananas they used cherries, like a bag of frozen cherries, and just like put chocolate powder in, like cocoa powder, cacao as you might call it. And I, you know, had the recipe and I'd gone out shopping and I bought the stuff that I needed, brought it back, and I mixed it up and I put it together. Now, I didn't record myself doing it because I didn't want to look like an idiot, especially seeing as in all of the supermarket, in all of the entire shopping mall, there was no frozen cherries. I had to buy bags of normal cherries and pit them myself. So I stood here in the kitchen for a good half an hour, knocking the stones out of cherries. And yeah, it made for very boring viewing, believe me. But then after I'd done that, I put, you know, all the rest of the ingredients in and blitzed it up using the stick blender, because I still don't have a food processor. Put some almonds in, some crushed up almonds, because, you know, why not, you know. And that's in the freezer. And I was gonna eat the cake with the nice cream that I made, but the nice cream's not solid yet. The outsides of the little tubs that I put it in were, but the core in the center was still just really liquidy. And the moment that I tried mixing it all together and see whether or not it just formed some sort of like soft sorbet sort of thing, the entire thing just like went to liquid mush. So never mind, I'll leave it until tomorrow, where it's going to be warm again still, and I'll have some cake and ice cream then instead. So, never mind. Scuppered plans. What you gonna do? Let's see, is there anything else to talk about? Not particularly. Like, I had a little bit of pure orange juice as well today, you know, like just like fresh squeezed. That was nice. That was a bit different. Not a great deal. Like I had maybe just like a normal cup's worth, like a little mug, maybe. But yeah, that was fine. I played a a lot of Magic the Gathering on Magic the Gathering Arena, which is the sort of Hearthstone-esque digital client, the one that's really smooth and polished and looks awesome, but only has cards from the last like 2 years. That was quite nice. That was quite fun. I had a talk with my friend Lucas. Lucas is an Australian expat living here in Berlin. I met him through the Expat Dads group, which I will be going to the weird party of on Wednesday night. Now, Lucas, much like myself, paints Warhammer. Like the little figures and stuff, like in case it's been a while or you've never seen them before, here's just a quick little slideshow of some of the things that I've painted. Now, recently there's been a new game that's been announced and brought out. In fact, it arrived in stores today, which is, it's like a little 10 miniature or less skirmish game for a tabletop, or, you know, a pub or a coffee table or whatever, set in Warhammer Fantasy, which is like Lord of the Rings, but a little bit more horrible, let's say. And Lucas absolutely loves that universe. Me, I'm more of a sci-fi guy, so I've gone for like the Warhammer 40,000, the futuristic thing, like monks in space and giant suits of armor and all that sort of thing. And me and Lucas have been trying to organise getting together and having a game and having like painted miniatures and this, that and the other, and he's got a bunch of friends that do it, and I can't find anyone who is available when I'm available apart from Lucas and Lucas's friends, so I'm kind of like trying to get in as well, you know? And for all that me and Lucas are painting up our stuff for the sci-fi game, it's not really the thing that captures his imagination. The thing that captures his imagination is, you know, the fantasy one. So this thing was announced and released today, and I had to look at some of the miniatures and said, ooh, not only are they pretty, but I could technically use them in my sci-fi stuff. I'm going to do that at some point next week, and obviously once I start finishing certain bits, I might like put them in here for you to see. I might actually record the first game that I have of it, because I don't get to play much. I don't get to play much at all with, you know, like tabletop war games and stuff like that. And that's the thing that I started out doing back when I was like 11, 12. Like these days I'm definitely more about like playing Magic and playing board games and stuff, but I still have that love there and I haven't like engaged with it much recently. Right, I think I've probably rambled on more than enough, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna pop off. I'm gonna edit this together. I might play some more Magic, I'm not entirely sure. If I have any extra snacks or anything, I'll put them all up. I'm fairly certain I stepped to the side to show you what I had when Saguta cooked it, but here it is in case, or here's the snacks and stuff, like I don't know. But yeah, I'll speak to you again tomorrow, and hopefully we'll have just like more of an idea of what's going on. I might have been able to paint some stuff or play some video games, or who knows, or we might have even gone somewhere. I don't know. I might put the gimbal on charge just in case. Yeah, I'll do that. Just in case. Right, thank you very much for joining me. I will see you tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye-bye.